All right, guys, so now we're going to start to get into the dashboard because if we log in, we get redirected to the dashboard route, which doesn't even exist yet. So let's jump into VS Code. I'm going to close everything up here. And let's create inside components. We're going to have a folder. Let's see, we're going to have a specific folder in components called dashboard, because our dashboard is going to be broken up into a few different components. So we're going to have one main dashboard component. So I'll create that. So dashboard.js. And in here, basically this is where we're going to fetch all of our data and stuff using an action and then bring it in from the Redux state, and then we'll pass it down to other components, for instance, the experience and education components. All right, so let's just create an arrow function here with prop type, so RECFP. And for now, I'm just going to put just dashboard inside here, and I think that's all I want to do for now. I just want to get the route set up, so I'll save that, and I'll go to my app.js, and let's bring in the dashboard up here. So it'll be dashboard/dashboard, and we're going to bring in dashboard, and then we need a route for it, so we'll put that right here. Oops, spelled that wrong. And it'll be /dashboard. All right, so we'll save that, and now let's go back in and log in. And now at least we have our dashboard route. All right, good. Now I think that this is a good time to create our private route component, because we don't want to be able to see if I log out now. I'm no longer logged in, but I can still access the dashboard page, and I don't want to be able to do that. So we're going to create a private route component so that in our app.js, if we want this to be a private route, we can simply do private route instead of route. All right, so inside components, let's create another folder called, I'm going to call it routing. And inside here, let's create a new file called private route.js. Okay, and this is going to be an arrow function with properties. And it's a little weird how this works. We have to accept, if we look at our app.js, we have to accept this component prop and anything else that's passed into it. So in our props right here, I'm going to do a little destructuring. And oops, I want to do parentheses, and then inside here we're going to do curly braces. Now I'm going to take from component that's passed in, and let's say component, and then we want to get any other parameters that are passed in, so we're going to use the rest operator. So we want to do ... and then rest, and that'll take anything else that's passed in. Now we need to interact with the auth state in our auth reducer in order for this to work. So we need to bring in connect. So I'm going to go ahead and import connect from react-redux, and we already have prop types. We're also going to be using redirect from the router. We need route and redirect from React router. So let's do import route and redirect from React router DOM. Okay, so now we want to go down to our export, and just like we would in any other component with connect, we want to export connect. And inside here, we're going to map state to props. Okay, no actions, so just map state to props, and then we'll go ahead and create that here. So state and we just want the auth state. So I'm going to say auth, set that to state.auth. Okay, so that'll pull in all the state that's in the auth reducer, and then we'll add that to our prop types as well. So auth pt, it's an object and required. Okay, now we want to pull in this auth prop. So up here, I'm going to go ahead and just add an auth like that. And in the return, we're actually not going to have this return. I'm going to get rid of from the curly braces and everything inside, and we're just going to put in a route. So I'm going to put in parentheses and then a route, because remember we brought that in. Oops. And we're going to pass a bunch of stuff in here. So anything that's passed in here as the rest, so basically any custom props that are passed in, we want those here. So we'll open up some curly braces and let's just do ... rest. Okay, and then after that we're going to have a render here. Okay, so render props, and we're going to have props. We're going to have an arrow here, and this is where we want to check to see if we're authenticated or not. So we have the auth right here. Actually, I think all I need is authenticated. So we could change this to is authenticated, but I'm just going to leave it. I'll just say if not auth.is authenticated. Okay, we need loading as well. That's why I can't do that, because we want to check loading as well. We could destructure it though and make it a little cleaner. So let's do is authenticated and loading up here, and then we can go ahead and get rid of this auth and just say if not is authenticated and not loading, then let's see, then we want to redirect, right? So if we're not authenticated and it's not loading, we want to redirect. So we'll put in here redirect, and let's redirect to the login page. So /login. Okay, and then we'll put our else after this parentheses right here. So else, then we want to load with whatever the component is that's passed in. So we can simply do component and any props that are passed into that. So I'm going to do ... props, and then let's close that. Okay, and this pertains to this right here. So I'm going to save this, and Prettier is going to format it for us. And I think that should work. So if we use private route, basically we're going to use a route just like we are in app.js, except we're adding in a render prop where we check to see if the user is not authenticated and not loading. And if that's true, then we're going to just redirect to login. Okay, if they are authenticated, then the component will load. So now in app.js, we just need to bring that in. So let's bring in /routing /private route. We'll call this private route. And then for the dashboard, we want to protect that, so we're going to use private route like that instead of route. Okay, and make sure you have a switch or you're going to run into issues here. So we'll save that and go back to our application, and it looks like it already redirected us. If I go /dashboard, it just redirects us to sign in. Okay, so any route that we want to force the user to be logged in for, we can simply use private route instead of route. Okay, and this is very common what we did here. I mean, if you look up how to protect routes in React, you're going to get something that looks maybe not identical to this, but pretty similar. So yeah, so we have our dashboard component created. There's nothing in it really, but we have it created, and we have it blocked so that guests can't go into it. Let's just make sure we can log in and view it. Log in, and there we go. So now we can access the dashboard. Okay, now as soon as the dashboard loads, we need to pull in the current user's profile. So in order to do that, we need profile in our state, which means we need a profile reducer, profile actions file, and we need to get that part of the application flowing. All right, so in the next video, I think what we'll do is create our profile reducer, create the get profile action or get current profile action, and start on that. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.